Hi, I'm Riddick, class of 2021.
I'm Garrett, class of 2020.
Traditionally, Mr. Simons would have his veteran multimedia students, such as Garrett and I, teach up-and-coming multimedia students how to live stream. However, since God felt the need to punish kids born in 02 and 03 with the pandemic, we had to resort to making this tutorial in order for the information to not die with our classes.
So, without further ado, let's begin.
At this point in multimedia, you'll have already learned how to properly set up and handle the cameras. But just for a quick recap, set up the tripod first, camera second, and obviously set the time, make sure that it's correct. And you also don't need an SD card when you're live streaming with cameras.
With your camera set up, get your cords ready. Hopefully the last person to use them put them back nicely, and you will too, right?
In the red bag, there will be plenty of cords. Some of these might not be necessary over the years, but there'll always obviously be extras. But what you're going to need are
a power strip for the switch, an HDMI for each camera, an HDMI for the central computer, an HDMI for the display monitor, and of course, the switcher itself.
With your cameras and cords ready to go, it's time to begin using this bad boy, the switch box, or the switcher for short. The switcher is to be hooked up to 2 or more cameras with these respective HDMI ports.
Then, the switcher is to be hooked up to a central computer through this output. This computer will be connected to the internet, either through Wi-Fi, hotspot, or a direct connection, and will help live stream the game, which we will discuss later.
Lastly, this is where you'll connect the switcher to a monitor that you will have next to the central computer. This allows for the operator of the switcher to see what the cameras see. Without this, the operator will be clueless as to what they are projecting onto the live stream, and might as well be blindfolded.
Congratulations, all of your equipment is set up and ready to go. Now is where you begin the live stream. Alright, you got your cords set up, your cameras are ready to go, the switcher is connected to the central computer. Where do you go from here? Well, the first thing you want to do is open Wirecast. And Wirecast is not always down here in the dock for your convenience sake. So, in order to get to it, there are 3 ways. The first way, the simplest, is to open the Finder, go to Applications, scroll down to the bottom, sorting alphabetically, and Wirecast should be there. The second way is to hit Command Space. This opens Spotlight Search, where you can search for any application or file. So, if we type in Wirecast, it will normally autofill for us, and we can get to it through there. The last way, which is my personal favorite, is to simply hit F4 on the keyboard, which brings up all of your applications. Not sorted alphabetically, however, but typically by the date at which they were installed. Wirecast will be right here. With Wirecast open, you should get this pop-up where you should select Create Empty Document and hit Continue. When you open Wirecast, you will see nothing. So, in order to fix that, you need to go down here to Layers and click the plus sign. With this pop-up, what you want to do is you want to go to Video Capture and select USB Video number 2, or something along the lines of USB Video. With that, you select Add, and here we go, we got something going for us. And as you can see, you can use the switcher to switch back and forth between the 2 or more cameras. Before we begin live streaming, however, what you would want to do is you want to add overlays of some sort. Most typically a scoreboard if you are live streaming, let's say, a basketball game. So, in order to do that, what you need to do is you need to go to the plus sign down here in Layers, go to Overlays, and you're typically going to want to select Scoreboard. As you can see, we got one right here, and you could move it around all you want, but you want to give it a nice home. Typically the bottom left corner suffices. Over here in the Properties panel, you are able to edit the scoreboard as much as you need. The type we normally use is Thin Pipe Wide. I want to drag that over for visibility. You can edit the names of home and visitor to whatever schools are playing. Typically home is going to be Willamette, of course, because we're not taking this equipment outside school property. And for visitor, let's do Junction City, for example. You're also able to edit the colors to whatever the school colors might be. So for Willamette, you click this, it opens your little color wheel, and let's make it a nice maroon. Let's see how that looks. It's not perfect, but alas, when you are live streaming, perhaps an eyedropper tool will suffice, which can be found right here if needed, wherever you might pop the graphic up on the screen, maybe in another window or something. But for now, let's move on. Over here, you will see field 1. That is useless to us. Just get rid of it. Just leave the box blank. No one will worry about it. What the focus is on the name and the score. And in order to edit the score, you can go to one of these two text boxes and edit it manually. However, a far more sophisticated way to do it is to simply use these buttons here, the +1, +2, 3, or so on and so forth. Now, the last thing you need to understand with Wirecast before opening our software on Chrome is this right here is just the preview box. This over here, however, is what is actually going to be shown on the live stream. So, in order to export what your preview is onto live stream, you want to click this arrow. Now, if you were live streaming, this is what it would see. But if you need to go through and edit the display for any reason, like let's say you need to drag the scoreboard down here to hide it, it would still show on the live stream. So, in order to update the layer changes, you just do that. Or when you need to bring it back, you just do that. Now, things that are changed within the layers, for example, if we change the score here, as you can see, it automatically updates with the live stream. And if we also change the camera, that automatically goes with it. It is just the layers are changing, like the positions or properties of this area down here. That does not get updated. This stuff over, A-okay. If for any reason you do accidentally select the video and the properties panel is missing the scoreboard options, all you have to do is either click on the scoreboard layer or on the graphic via the preview, and it will bring back the properties panel for the scoreboard where you can keep editing it to your heart's content. Nice. With that all settled, this is the part where you want to open Chrome and you want to go to BoxCast. And assuming Simons gives you the login, it'll open up to this dashboard here. Before scheduling a broadcast, what you need to do is you want to go to sources and you need to make sure that Wirecast is properly connected to BoxCast for live streaming. In order to do that, click the drop down menu for Wirecast Stream, and it will give you these links which you are going to need. In order to get a home for these links, go back to Wirecast, go to Output, Output Settings, make sure RTMP server is selected, select OK. With this open, all you really need to worry about is this box, the address, and this box, My Stream. So, go back to Chrome and copy the link for server URL. You can just do it by clicking this button or highlighting with and hitting Command C, but it's more convenient to click a button. Go back to Wirecast, get rid of what is in the address box, and use Command V to replace it with the server URL. Now we need to go back to Chrome one last time, select Stream Key, get rid of what is in the stream box and replace it with a nice Command V, and that should allow for the connection of Wirecast to BoxCast. Now, with that set up and ready to go, what you need to do is go back to BoxCast, of course, and we are now able to go back to the dashboard and begin broadcasting. The only way to broadcast is to schedule one, even if you intend to do one within the next 10 seconds, half hour or so. So you do not need to schedule a week or a month ahead. It's actually kind of convenient once you realize it. So we need to give our broadcast a name. Let's go with testing 1, 2, 3. Typically you'll want a description. Luckily I got a nice one right here, which we can just Command C and Command V. There we go. That's very nice. Source should just be Wirecast stream. Video resolution, while you can do 1080p, sometimes sticking with 720 is good to allow for a seamless connection. For frames over resolution, that's what I say. Start date, typically just put it to the day you're going to be live streaming, since why would you ever schedule a week or month in advance when you can just do it right then and there. Even though up here in the corner it is 9:35 a.m., you can actually schedule it to start from the second you open the window. While it won't start until you actually hit schedule broadcast, doing this will just make it start immediately once you hit said button. In time, typically put this off for at least a few hours depending on what you're doing. I don't remember the length of basketball games, but it doesn't hurt to put it a little longer than whatever it might be, maybe 3 hours or 2, I'm not too sure. But if needed, you will be able to hit a button to end the stream manually, regardless of when you set the end time. Make sure to leave it to public. Do not worry about these two boxes down here. Channels and destinations, just leave them as is. And with all that, you should be able to select schedule broadcast. What? Now, while these sources are enabled, before we go back to Wirecast, there is one last thing that I almost forgot to mention. This little button right here, the stream button, make sure that is on. This is a very important button, but alas, with that situated, we are now able to go to BoxCast, go back up to the dashboard, and we are able to select schedule broadcast. And with all those situated, we are now able to select schedule broadcast. So it will take us to this window. As you can see, there will be a preview here. It takes about 30 seconds to get updated and actually start the stream. With this button, you are able to manually stop the broadcast. We're not going to do that just yet. There's some views and analytics here. But that's not your concern. Your concern is making the live stream look good. You can worry about that later. Description's right here. You should be able to edit certain things, like if you need to change the name or description on the fly, you just go to edit broadcast, do it there. You can change the resolution. Okay, never mind. I guess you can't change the resolution, so be very careful with that. And there it is. And then I believe if you hit play, it will. Yeah, see, that's what the stream is seeing. So, as you can see, while I am waving my hand in the present on Wirecast, it will be a moment before it actually updates on the live stream itself. Now, you might want to pause that to sort of save yourself some processing power. And with that going in the background, knowing that it is, you are now able to just fixate yourself on Wirecast, edit the score as you go along. So keep in mind that you're not just switching back and forth between cameras. You do need to pay attention to the scoreboard of whatever event you're at as you're watching, and keep that updated as you go along. And remember, you can, if you do mess up, you can go back and manually edit it, albeit just try to do it quickly as they can see you typing. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Once you get it ready to go, all you have to do is just switch back and forth between your 2 to 3 cameras, keep the score updated, and there you go. Now, you're probably going to want to be able to go to whatever website we are streaming this to, as of course we are not simply streaming this to BoxCast, right? In order to see where the stream actually lies, what you want to do is you want to go to cpl.org/stream. This is where you can actually see the live stream itself, not just through BoxCast. It's kind of nice to just make sure that things are going as smoothly. And as you can see, yeah, you got the title, description, everything. And you should be able to open this on your phone. But yeah, make sure you write that down. willhighcpl.org/stream. Now, as great philosopher Critical once said, that's it. See ya.